again for joining us today. Like I said, we did a show a little while ago about female bodybuilders. It attracted so much attention, we decided to have a lot of bodybuilders back today. Please welcome again Linda Murray to the show. Craig Titus to the show. Laura Cravell. Gerard Dente. And Denise Wojtkowski to the show. I'm going to come right over and start with you, Linda. Now, how did you get started in this sport?
Wow. Well, I've been involved in weight training for about 9 years, but as far as my background in physical fitness, it's very long. I started out in, as a cheerleader, and through high school, through college. I was a professional cheerleader with the USFL, and I ran track and field. So all of those things really gave me a lot. I think that without that, I would not have been able to be Miss Olympia.
Now, you've done that for 3 years. 3 years running, you've held the title.
4 years.
4 years.
And I'm going into, plan on entering my 5th Miss Olympia in September. Yes.
And now, how long does it take you all to get contest ready? I mean, to be ready to go out there, ripped up, shredded up, and all that kind of stuff, you know, and be ready to go out and perform and win a contest?
Oh, it takes a lot. Actually, a lot of times, you know, when I talk to people, I want to explain to them that my background, basically, as far as physical fitness, it's been about 22 years. I mean, everything that I've done has contributed to me being Miss Olympia. The discipline, as far as getting out on the track and running, as far as the diet was concerned, cheerleading, professional cheerleading. It took a lot of promotional work as far as just appearances and being a lady. So it's, you know, it's just a lot involved. It really is.
All right, how about you, Craig? How long have you been doing this? How much do you weigh? That's the first question. What do you weigh? I'll jump right in there. What do you weigh?
Right now, about 230 pounds, but I'm coming down from 257 pounds off season, preparing for another show.
And what will your ultimate weight be once you go out there on stage?
You know, bodybuilders tend not to go by how much they weigh, but how they look in the mirror for a show. But I'm hoping to be about 220 on stage.
Well, you know, the way you just made the one point everybody wants to know, do you guys all spend more time in the mirror than you do anything else? I'm going to get all these silly questions out of the way, huh?
It's not out of vanity, though. It's out of, you have to do it for your career. You have to see what you look like. That's what you're getting paid for.
And how did you get started in the sport? Why did you even start doing this?
In high school, I had to wrestle a 135-pound weight class, and after high school, I got sick of being small, so I started training with weights. And I liked the results. I just kept doing it and made a career out of it.
And you just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Laura, what about you? When did you start?
I've been training now for 13 years, and I got into it because I used to run 13 miles a day. And genetically, I had a small upper body and very big thighs. And all the running in the world didn't really change that. I was a smaller person, but I still had a lot. I would weigh 105, 110 pounds, and I still had cellulites in my legs. And I was lucky one year I was on vacation in Jamaica, and they had the very first female bodybuilding contest. And out of curiosity, I went to see what it was all about. And I was just so amazed at how toned and how wonderful the women looked. And there was actually just 3 girls in the show, and the girl that really inspired me was the girl that got 3rd, because she had my genetic proportions. And I went strictly, from the time I touched weights, was strictly to become a bodybuilder.
And you've been doing that for how long again?
13 years. And so I trained with that drive. And I know people that saw me when my arms were like 9 inches and watched me train my butt off. And now it's the only thing that you can really change how you look. You can do all the aerobics you want, but it's never going to change. It's never going to give you the proportions you want. Right. Now I went from wearing a size 9 pants and a size 3 top, so now I can wear size 7 pants and a larger size top, so I'm more in proportions, and I like the way.
Okay, all right, that's good. How about you, Gerard? You look like, when you're talking about been working and pumping for a while, I mean, how much do you weigh? I got to ask that just to start.
Right now I'm about 272.
272 pounds?
Yeah.
And, I mean, is this off-season weight?
Yeah, this is an off-season weight for me. I want to compete this year at 245.
245. And now, I mean, how much time do you all spend in the gym? What do you spend in the gym to get that big?
Really, if you dedicate 2 solid hours between training and your cardiovascular, that's enough. You know, maximum.
Yeah.
So you're not just in the mirror for 7 hours and in the gym for 2 hours and in the mirror for 7 hours. I mean, people think that all you do is lift weights all day long.
That's
Right.
a
Most of us,
misconception.
that's why we have a career in the sport, because most of us are not gym rats. I go in the gym and I work out, and then I'm out of there. If I just lay around and watch TV all day, you know, I don't believe in training twice a day. I don't believe in workout for hours and hours, because you can only stimulate the muscles so much with weight training. After then, you have to rest and eat correctly in order to grow. So we don't really spend that long in the gym.
Yes, sir.
And plus, you don't grow in the gym. You grow at home when you are resting.
And when you're resting.
When you're resting. And when you go home, it's all you do is rest. And
Rest.
You having fun? Do you have
Eat and
fun?
sleep.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How long have you been in the sport there, Denise?
I've been in the sport for 8 years and competing for 7 years.
7 years. What got you started? Why did you want to do this?
Well, I was basically, you know, I was a track runner, and I did gymnastics and things like that, and I was always athletic from like age 5 on up, you know, and I also, you know, I was a speed skater and roller skating, and one thing led to another, and, you know, people were saying, oh, you got the genetics, you should be a bodybuilder, and I picked up, you know, a Muscle and Fitness one day, and I looked, and I'm looking, I'm like, hey, this is kind of neat, you know, you don't have to punch 9 to 5, you can be kind of your own boss, and, you know, and stuff like that, and so I got into the gym, and when I first got into the gym to train for the sport, it was to be a professional bodybuilder, and my ultimate goal was to step on stage at the Olympia, and, you know, and stuff, and so from day one, I knew what I wanted.
Well, there you go. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Linda, you said you will be competing in 1994. Would you two also, Denise and Laura,
Yes.
be competing in
Yes.
1994?
I'll be winning this year.
Yeah, the top
Well, you know, it's when you're on top, everybody wants to knock you off.
Right, that's right. That's a hard job, but you're looking at the top 3 women in the world.
Absolutely.
Right now.
They were going to seat these 3 together, but we said we better split them up. No punches flying.
What's up?
I have a question. What's the heaviest you ever lift?
Oh, this is the strength question. I mean, what's the heaviest that you ever
There's
lifted?
so many different lifts. One of the basic questions, how much do you bench press? My personal best was 535. But,
So you lift up the rear end of a car, right? I mean, 535.
But I think Gerard's probably better than that.
Hey, Gerard, what do you bench press?
I haven't bench. Actually, it's I have bad shoulder joint, so I don't even do flat benches. But when I was a teenager, I did 550 at 19 years old. But
how old?
now I stick to dumbbell presses.
At 19 years old?
19 years old.
Gee, yes, ma'am.
My question is, what is there after the bodybuilding?
Oh, excellent.
A great body.
Sure, let him answer the question.
There's a
first. I'll
lot
come
after
back to you.
bodybuilding. There really is. I think, you know, one of the things that people make a mistake on is physical fitness as well as diet. That's something that you do for a lifetime. You have one physique and you have to take care of it for a lifetime. I have people come up to me and they say, well, what will you do after this? Does muscle turn into fat? Well, muscle is muscle and fat is fat. And I plan on doing this the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
So you'll stay the same
this-
no matter what.
That's right.
Whether you compete or not, as far as competitively, you know, maybe I see myself around maximum 5 years, but I will always work out. Now I'm working in my own fitness show that I do in Maine, but it's always going to be something that I feel I have a gift and I feel I can help other people through what I've done. So it's more than just being on stage. It's also training people or doing my fitness camp or something else.
Okay, but no, wait. That's the upside of this. But
Yeah.
what is the downside of this? I know if the 3 of you ladies right now walked in any restaurant in Manhattan, the cooks would run, and half the people in the restaurant go like, "Oh no, it's like invasion of the something Amazon."
Well,
Don't you get that stuff?
Actually,
No, we don't get that. I don't get
Actually,
that.
because we're sitting here like this, you know, we look bigger than life. But when we have like an evening dress on or regular street clothes, most people don't even know this. They say, "Well, you work out." I went,
wait,
no.
Wait, who are
I
you
was,
kidding?
No,
if
I
you
was,
walked in
no,
an
no,
evening
no,
dress
that's, no,
with that body
no.
underneath that evening dress, I'm gonna
No,
tell you,
no,
every man in the
that's-
house is gonna go like this. Damn.
No,
wow.
I
Wait,
was really good shape.
huh?
This morning when I was at the hotel, and I went down for breakfast, and the lady says, "You're not one of those bodybuilders, are you?" And I said, "Yes, I am." She says, "You're awfully small." Because I had, yes, in clothes, I don't look that big.
If anything, the chefs aren't running because of how much they eat. It's because they may have to prepare some food that doesn't have any fat in it.
Oh, okay, I got
That's
you.
all it
Well,
is.
that was my question now. Everybody's talking about how much you have to work out. How important is the actual diet and
It's
fat?
It's
and-
very
one of the
important.
most important things.
It's the whole ball game.
Very
Well, you know
important.
what? I'll tell you what, let's take a little break when we come back, because there are a lot of people who don't necessarily want to be big, huge bodybuilders, but they like to get some tips on how to get their bodies in shape, what you do, how you train, and some things like that. So we'll talk about it when we come back. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this. Now, we've been talking about bodybuilders today who just, I mean, really, we're going to do a little bit later on in the show. We're going to talk a little bit about how you can get yourself together for this summer. But really, right now, I just want to know a little bit more about you all. Now, Linda, being a 4-time Miss Olympia.
Yes.
I mean, I heard Arnold won Mr. Olympia 6 times. He got major movie deals, major offers. Where have you been? How come we haven't seen you?
Well, let's see. You know what? I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's just so much involved. I mean, I've been all over the world in the last couple of days, Spain and Germany, and it's really tough. First of all, I think I'm in the wrong place for the movies. I'm in Michigan. I need to be in the state of California or New York as far as movies are concerned. But it's tough. It's a really hard business, but I'm working on things.
Is there an opportunity for like a movie career for either one of you guys? I mean, you can jump out here and be the next Conan
There's a
the
lot of us up
Barbarian.
here that are SAG.
What's that?
There's a lot of us up here that are SAG, and we've done commercials and parts in the movies and things like that. More or less, you know, my main focus, you know, and drive in life is bodybuilding. Of course, if a call comes up or something like that, you know, I would, you know, nix on the television and go for the bodybuilding, because you can only focus on one thing in your life, as like to put most of your drive into. You can't be 2 people in the film industry and a bodybuilder. But I've done parts in a few shows and done a few commercials and things like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I just have a question for someone that may be trying to not so much build up as much as you are because you look great, but for someone that's just trying to tone up. What would you say to do, like, on a daily basis as far as, like, a diet and exercise type?
She asked, like, all the questions for the rest of the show. It's like, we're going to do the whole show right now. Yeah.
The first thing I would tell you is, or ask you, is how many meals you were eating a day. And if, most people say 2 or 3. What you need to do is split that up into smaller meals throughout the day, and it keeps your metabolism going a lot better.
So how many meals should you be eating a day?
5 or 6.
Yeah,
5 or 6.
Yeah.
Wait.
Minimum
Right.
more.
Everybody in the room, how many of you could eat 5 or 6 meals in a day?
No. You misunderstand what I'm saying.
It doesn't mean large meals.
Right, for the average human being, 9 to 5 business person, at least 4 times a day. Smaller meals, spaced out throughout the day.
The more
the
you
key
eat,
to
it speeds up
nutrition
your
is
metabolism.
absorption.
The
So
less
if you only
you
eat
eat,
3
your
meals a day,
metabolism
you're not
slowed
going to
down.
absorb all
Your body
all-
thinks
all
it's
the
starving
foods.
itself, and it stores the fat.
Yeah.
So wait, now that's for the average, but how many times a day do you all eat?
I eat 6 myself.
6.
I eat 5 to 6.
But that's what I do for a living, Montel. I don't have a job. I mean, that's my job.
Gotcha. Yes, ma'am.
For the women,
For the women, right?
I can all see that you're all very beautiful women. Does it stop men from being attracted to you?
The type of,
Doesn't
type of
stop
men,
me.
no, the type of men that will not be attracted to me, I probably wouldn't be attracted to him anyway, so it really doesn't bother me at all.
So you have to. So the only guys that you're attracted to are like
You believe it or
bodybuilders.
not,
I like, well, for me, I like men, and I like male bodybuilders.
No.
Yeah,
You like
well,
male
the men
bodybuilders?
they're attracted to others.
Well,
He's
my
attracted to
boyfriend
others.
is not a bodybuilder.
Wait,
He
what's
works
that?
out. My boyfriend's not a bodybuilder, but you know, the man that I'm involved with, I definitely want him to be interested in physical fitness because I'm so interested
Not
in my body.
necessarily big.
But he's not a bodybuilder.
Okay.
No, I love
Great body though.
Hi, I think you all look great, and I really admire you. I saw your competition this year, and it was fantastic. My question is, I work at night, and I know a lot of people, their work hours are much different than the 9 to 5. How do you eat to really get all of the benefits from the food that you're taking in, have your body metabolize it? So I sleep during the day, most of the day, so I'm up during the night working, and then my daytime
Is your problem
hours,
that you can't prepare all your meals, or that?
I don't, that's just it, I eat on
Well,
the
there
job.
are food supplements out there that you can use.
But you can't just eat supplements by themselves. You have
No,
to
you
take
can't.
food.
You can't, but there are food supplements you can use to take the replace of some meals that you would normally get so that your metabolism does start.
Wait. We're talking about ham, eggs, gravy here. I don't be spreading no diet fuel or no bacon. I want some good food here. Hold on a second. I mean, I'm with you. That takes dedication. The average person is not going to go in the kitchen now. I can see it right here. You open up the refrigerator door. Hold on.
Right.
You open up the refrigerator door, and in that refrigerator, I see last night's fried chicken.
Well, you shouldn't have last night's fried chicken. You shouldn't have
you're
last night's.
absolutely
Wait a
right.
minute, though. There's last night's fried chicken there, and I look over the counter and I see this diet fuel. I see last night's fried chicken and diet fuel. I see a bagel, chicken, and diet fuel. I mean the chicken.
It comes out.
If you want to get into
Montel, we're leaving something very important out that's very important here. If a person eats clean, so to speak, fat-free and very good 5 days a week. Well, there's no reason why a couple days a week they can't eat what they want.
Absolutely.
It doesn't. It shouldn't play too much havoc with your physique. In other words, if I eat fat-free for 3 or 4 days in a row and I decide to cheat one day, it's not going to do anything but speed my metabolism up. These are things you'll learn as you progress.
Well, you guys don't cheat at all.
Sure we do.
You don't have a Twinkie.
This Sunday, I'm going to go get cheesecake.
What?
This Sunday.
I'm going out to after
I
the
can
show
make-
and eat Italian food.
So you gauge your day, you're like this, you look ahead and say, well, maybe on Sunday I can get that extra treat. See, I'm the kind of person, I'm looking at like, maybe on Monday, maybe on Tuesday. Well, I might skip Wednesday. Thursday, I'm treating myself, though. Yes, sir.
Before you're talking about evening gowns and street clothes and stuff, I have trouble finding clothes to fit me. How do you find clothes that
Oh,
even
it's
come
really
close?
tough. It is. I can tell you, it's really hard, especially, you know, for a woman because, and it's just like with everyone. I mean, you have a specific type of physique. If you're very tall, certain clothes look great on you. If you're short, certain clothes. With me, it's hard because my thighs say I weigh, you know, where I should wear one size, and my waist says that I should wear a size 5. So it's really tough.
So what do? You have your clothes made?
Well, you know, I just have to go shopping and search and find things.
spend the
Some
whole
things
day
I
shopping.
have made, but usually, you know, when they came out with those stretch jeans.
Oh, those are great. Those are
yeah,
awesome.
I can imagine Susie putting down the sidewalk with those things on. It's like, bing! And then you look behind you, there's like 75 guys in New York go like this. Just 1 second, man. Just 1 second. Wait, I'll be right back. I gotta take a break. And when we come back, we're going to meet some teenage bodybuilders who are really aspiring professionals, and all of them really would love an opportunity to meet you guys. These are like their heroes. We decided to bring them out here. But we also have a mother who says, look, I like the weightlifting stuff, but I'm not sure about this professional bodybuilding stuff for her daughter. We'll be back right after this. Talking about bodybuilders. We've done a couple shows about it. You keep writing in and asking us, how do they do this, how do they do that? But we also have some teenagers here who are just starting out. They're fledglings. They're trying to learn a sport, and they're looking up to people like this. So let's please welcome some of our teenage bodybuilders today. Please welcome Sherry to the show. Jason to the show. Jason. Lizette to the show. Jason right here. Lizette. Curtis. And Luke to the show. Now, hold on a second. Now, how long have you been doing this?
2 years.
2 years. How about you?
8 months.
8 months. You're just getting started. It's all right. It's okay. How long have you been doing
3
this?
years.
3 years. How about you, sir?
2.
2?
2.
2. Now, do you plan on going to this level? Turn around and take a look at these people back here behind you. Huh? Do you plan on getting to that level? If not beyond. Yes? You don't think so? No?
Maybe.
Maybe one day. Okay, well, here, take some seats for us, and let's talk about this for a second. Thanks. Give him a hand. Now, also joining us is Sherry's mom, Annette. She's on the show. Please welcome her here. Now, Mom, you started getting just a little worried when you started seeing her do this, right? I mean,
Yes, quite frankly, I did.
Why?
Not so much worried. I don't know if that's the appropriate word, but I was a little anxious about being in the gym and being in something that was more or less masculine, or at least it would seem so for most people. So yeah, it created a little bit of anxiety at first.
But if she walked in the house, let's say, and looked like any one of the ladies up here on the stage that's sitting there with you, what would you say?
If she looked like any one of the ladies.
On the stage?
I would prefer that she not be as muscular as some of these ladies. Not that they don't look wonderful, they do. That's my personal preference.
But now, is it out of concern for the fact that maybe bodybuilding may do something negative to her, or is it just the look that you don't like?
No. I think that bodybuilding in general has provided all positives for her. It's given her self-esteem and confidence. She's fit, she looks good. She enjoys what she does, and it's totally positive in this particular instance. I do think, however, that some people who bodybuild or are into weightlifting or powerlifting get off on the wrong track and get into some of the wrong things.
Wait, well, like what, though?
Well, steroids, for example.
And what else? Is that it? That's because a lot of people who are bodybuilding now are not using steroids. A lot of guys that don't do that anymore.
No, I'm sure that they aren't, and I'm sure that the progression hopefully would be that anybody who does bodybuild would do so in a natural form. However, I think that in some cases it becomes obsessive, and I don't think that's particularly healthy either.
Okay, oh, yes, sir.
I've got a question to all of them. How do you think you look like when you're 70?
Like a 70-year-old thinner man.
Like a 70-year-old what?
Thinner man.
Thinner man?
Actually, when we're 70, we'll probably look like we're 50.
And another thing is, some people think that they're supposed to, that when they're 70 years old, that it's normal to be bent over, and it's just not. I mean, if you work out, you take care of your body, you can still walk upright. That's just not taking care of your body.
And from weightlifting, it continues to make sure your body holds the bone tissue,
There's
so
a
your
general
bones stay.
misconception, and that is that when we stop lifting weights, we're going to get out of shape and fat. That's not necessarily true. As long as you keep eating right, your muscle just atrophies. In other words, it just shrinks.
We'll just be a smaller version.
You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger looks great.
And
he's just a smaller version.
Yeah,
And when he's a
exactly.
smaller version, he's great. And he doesn't train for size anymore.
I agree with Ms. Marquez on what she said about the steroids and everything. I was wondering if anyone was ever tempted because the competition is so strong. Honestly, I mean, I'm sure
They
it's a
test now for steroids, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
we have random testing as well, so it's not like you know a specific day. At any point, they can come
It's
and
just
test
like the
you.
Olympics.
Okay, all right, yes, ma'am.
I want to ask you, when you first started training, when you first started going to the gym, did you follow your own personal program, or did you go to a personal trainer?
Unfortunately, I followed my own and wasn't progressing.
I went to a
Follow my
personal
own
trainer.
program.
I think it's much faster if you get a personal trainer because you're not going to make
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
those mistakes.
Yeah, it's so
That's a
much
good idea.
involved.
Yes, sir.
Have any of the teenagers started competition yet, and have they done anything with it?
Anybody compete? Any of you guys? You've been competing? How long? Which one? How many have you been in?
2 years, and I won the teen nationals in North Carolina, so I'm his teen national champion.
Yes, sir.
What's good about the stage at the game they're at, bodybuilding, is they will grow and develop very fast, and it's really exciting when you first start out. Your muscle fibers grow really fast. As you progress, it gets harder and harder and harder.
Okay, we now tell you what to do. We're taking a little break, and when we come back, I'm going to pair some of you off with some of our teen bodybuilders, and we're going to do like maybe a body group session where you can tell the people at home how to train different parts of their bodies. Like, you know, and I tell you, my supervising producer is sitting over here, Mary Duffy, and Mary kept going like this earlier. She said, how do you train this right here? that part right there. So maybe come back, one of you guys can train just Mary. I'll make Mary come out, and you'll be trained. We'll be back right after this. We're almost out of time. Craig, you were going to show me something to do for a guy for what? His back? Back. Let me see it.
Bend over, barbell row. It's a basic exercise. You don't need any machines. Because obviously you have a bar set up with the weights on it.
As soon as he picked up that weight, all of a sudden the veins just start popping out everywhere, didn't they?
You have to be very careful with this exercise because of your lower back. Slightly bend your knees. When you bend over and position yourself on the bar, put a slight arch in your back. Don't leave it rounded off, just put an arch. Then row up to the stomach area using your lats. And you can feel the squeeze. Most importantly, when you do all these exercises, not only the one I've showed you, but the ones they've shown you, feel the muscle you're working.
Okay, do about another 20 of those.
All right? I don't know if I can do 20.
Do about 5 or 6, just for a second.
But you can also switch your grip and work even lower on the lat as opposed to upper. If I go like this, I'm going to work more upper back. If I switch my grip, I will roll it into my stomach lower and work lower back.
And this will give
Like
you that
so.
big, broad back size and the whole 9 yards, huh?
That will give you that.
Well, all right. Gerard, you were going to show me one. What are you going to show us?
I'm going to show you some shoulder exercises.
Okay.
Basically, lateral movements, 2 variations. One is the side lateral. What you want to do is start with the dumbbells down on your sides of your legs. Keep your wrists slightly bent. That keeps the tension on the deltoids. And you want to Just keep bringing them up a little bit past your shoulders.
So this is the exercise that works your neck or your shoulders? Which one?
Your deltoid should be right here.
Okay. So how come when you do it, like all this up here, like pops, just boom off? Why does that happen?
I don't know.
Hit a few more. Let's take a look.
Okay, so this would be the side lateral.
Okay. And is there a variation of that?
Yeah, and then there would be a front lateral, which would isolate more of the front deltoid. And what you would do is you would bring it up and kind of turn it like you're pouring a pitcher of milk or watering your plants, I guess.
And all of a sudden you end up with shoulders like that, I guess? After a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work.
All right. Look, we got to take a break. When we come back, Gerard's going to show us some of his expert poses, because I understand you're like one of the best in the business.
The best, yeah.
The best. He's going to show us a few of those, and we have a little surprise for you. We'll be back right after this. Now, Gerard, we're almost out of time, so I'm going to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank you for watching. But Gerard, you're going to take us out of here and show us some of those dynamic poses that you do. Is that right?
Poses.
Let me see them.
All right.
This is you. This is your day.
It's your front double bicep.
Oh. You can do better than that. Oh! That's the youngest champion poser in the world, I would think. Wait, this is your son, right, sir? What's his first name? Matthew. Matthew, and you are?
David.
David. Well, I'll thank the two of you for being here on the show. Give us a couple more to get out of here. Go ahead, fellas. Please. Matthew is now won America's Home Videos for this pose routine.